All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I like to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostle elders, a great millstone who rule well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shathir from the Chicago camp, coming back to you with what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. And this sit down was inspired also by my recent travels to Switzerland and Germany. And while I was there, observing all of the beautiful icons from the castles, the statues, and other such things, for some odd reason, this old scoffer came to mind who always used to talk shit. Talking about, oh, y'all was Kangs. And I just had to laugh. And I was like, yeah, we were kings. And just taking the time to take in the beauty of what we've done, I find it amusing that even still to this day, many people have a hard time accepting the fact that we were ruling for 1,000 years. We were the kings, we were the nobility, we were the aristocracy of a land for 1,000 years. And just to further prove that, yes, we were these people that were ruling, let me get some receipts. Now, I have to ask you to please be patient because I might have to put this video on pause a few times because a lot of these things are combined with my family pictures. So just use wisdom. Please be patient with me. Okay, so what you have here is a place called Kyberg. This is called Kyberg Castle. It's in a very small, quaint village about 30 minutes by car and train. I would say it's about 30 minutes northeast of Zurich. Okay. And this castle was, if my memory serves me correctly, around the 1300s. Okay. Very mighty deal. Very, very mighty deal. Okay. This is how it looks when you're further close up. You can truly see the detail, the brickwork, the artistic uh, feel of the building. Okay. This is Kyberg Castle, a castle that was ruled by our people. And some may say, well, how do you know that? Well, let's show some more receipts. So, when I happened to go into this castle, you when you come into this room, there's this wall on the far side, which you see here, and it has all these coats of arms shown in the picture. Now, as I'm explaining, I'm sure you have probably caught on to two or three of them that stand out. So let me scroll past so you can get a closer look. Check it out. At the top of your screen, screen left, and screen right, you have a coat of arms, 1489 Rudolph Drive. And you also have one in the 1500s. Same coat of arms, Rudolph Drive. What you have there seems like a very dark complexioned man with big nose and big lips and a very big afro. Now, if this castle was not inhabited by so-called black people, why would there be a royal coat of arms displaying Jake on there? Okay. This one, check it out. This was the third one on there. Hans Ulrich. I want to say that might be Kahn. Hans Ulrich Kahn, 1649. That looks like a very dark complexioned man with an afro. So if we weren't these kings, why are royal coats of arms of us in a castle? The only possible answer is because we were the people living in these magnificent pieces of architecture, which has to mean that we were ruling during this time in history. Some books may say from the 300, 350 to 1300, sometimes 1350. Okay? We were these ruling class of people. Let me get some more receipts. Okay, so what we have here is the town of Schaffhausen in Switzerland. Now, many of us who have been in the truth for some time know of this icon. And I can say that I was extremely humbled. I am so undeserving, but the Lord allowed me to see something that I've known about. I would say for 10 years, I've been in the truth for 12 years, and I found out about this icon. I say maybe the second year I was in the truth. Never knew what it was until I started doing research, and I said, whoa, this thing is in Schaffhausen, Switzerland. What you're seeing here is the Moor of Schaffhausen. A brother. You can clearly see that is an afro with a beard, with a golden cup, rings, and he's rocking the shield of the Habsburg dynasty. Even right now, as I'm telling this to you, I'm still wooed. I can't believe that after so many years, I had a chance to see this. All right. And before, people start scoffing, hold on. Let me put this on pause real quick. Yep, this is me right here. Because Jake be scoffing, talking about, oh, well, you could get that off the internet. No, I was actually there to see it. And brothers know normally I don't put myself in videos because it's not about me. All right, it's about edifying the sheep. But I'm just doing that because Jake liked to scoff. But yes, here it is. This is the fountain of the Moor of Schaffhausen. And there are numbers on it. It said 1609. So even at the year of 1609, you telling me you still had so-called black men who were kings, people of nobility, the aristocracy, still in power at that time? Yes, this statue right here is proof of it. And so let me scroll so you can get a closer look. You can clearly see this is a brother. Like I said, he got the afro, the beard, the gold earrings, the gold chain, the gold cup, the gold rings, rocking a mighty outfit, and he's rocking a shield with the logo of the Habsburg dynasty. Speaking of fly rings, let's get something else. Hold on for one moment. This little gem was in a museum in the city center of Zurich. There was not much to see, but this alone right here was worth the price of admission. This is a gold ring with a ruby on it, and on this ring is a so-called black man with a bandana wearing, I'm sure, what would be a very lovely red shirt. So, if we were not kings, why do we have a man posted up on a water fountain dressed in all royal apparel wearing golden rings? And why do we have golden rings with a ruby at the top with the face of a so-called black man on there? Once again, the answer is very simple. We were the ruling class of people during the time of the Dark Ages. We were the kings. We were the nobility. We were the aristocracy of that time. And see, even though we're in a low estate right now, we're going to have this status back because we are still royalty. Okay? And so now let me get some scripture. Put it on. This is Genesis 32 and I'm going to start at 24. It says, "And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint as he wrestled with him. And he said, Let me go, for the day breaketh. And he said, I will not let thee go, except thou bless me. And he said unto him, What is thy name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, Thy name shall be called no more Jacob, but Israel. For as a prince hast thou power with God and with men, and has prevailed." So that is our title, Yasharallah. We are princes of the power. And who is our power? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, who is the king of all kings. And if this is our power and we are his people, we are also kings as well. When you go to let me put it on pause and find it real quick. This is Romans 8 and 16. It says, "The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God." All right. We, the Israelites, you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, you are the children of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And it says, "And if children, then heirs, heirs of God, and joint heirs with Hamashiach, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together." Okay. And what's that glory? Let's go to Second Ezra. I want to say, is it 9? Hold on. Let me try to find it real quick. Second Ezra 42. Second Ezra 2 and 42. It says, I, Ezra, saw upon the Mount Zion a great people whom I could not number, and they all praised Yahweh with songs. And in the midst of them there was a young man of high stature, taller than all the rest, and upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of Yahweh. Now are they crowned and receive palms. Then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowneth them and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of God, who we all know is Yahweh Shai, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of Yahweh. So this is what's going to be brought back to us. The fullness of our kingly nature. This time it's going to be forever. Okay, the Dark Ages was just a small sample, a very, very small sample of Jake in the fullness of their power. Now, if we did all of this with 1,000 years, imagine what we're going to do for eternity, being Kangs. All right, you're going to have a rulership that is going to far supersede anything that man has ever witnessed, even far beyond the time than when we were ruling Europe. So yes, we was Kangs, we is Kangs, and very soon we're going to be eternal kings again. All right, with Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. So that's all I wanted to say on this. I hope you all were edified. Till the next time, we're going to say Shalom.